this project, you'll need a white piece of paper, a pencil with an eraser, something to outline with, a marker, crayons, and you're going to need some heart to put in your art. Go ahead and pause the video and collect your materials. First direction is always the same. Pick up your pencil and write your name. So you're going to no name, no fame. Flip your paper like a pancake. We're going to start with the horizon line, but we're not going to use a straight line because we want it to look like snowy hills. So you're just going to create some curved lines that kind of overlap with each other, creating rolly, snowing hills across the paper. So the horizon line is where the ground meets the sky. Now we're going to create some trees that have lost their leaves because it's winter. We're just going to create the trunks first, and then we'll go back and add the branches. So using two lines coming out from each little rolling hill, you're going to create a tall tree that goes from your horizon line all the way to the top edge of your paper. Okay, we're going to be coloring these in later, so they're going to make them nice and thick. Alright, going back to our first tree, we're going to start to add branches. I like to connect my branches to my edges of my paper. If you want to do some that are kind of just floating, you can do that too. So I'll add one of those for you guys. There we go. Some little branches are good. Again, we're going to be coloring these in so you won't see where they overlap later. So I'm just going to continue to add my little branches on each of my trees. If you have a different way that you want to add branches, you can. Just remember that in the winter the leaves have fallen off, so the trees are kind of bare. You wouldn't have many leaves. If you wanted to do evergreen trees though, you could, like in the story. Alright, we're going to add a circle in our sky. This is going to be our snowman moon. So we'll add those details in a little bit later. And then we're going to be adding some diagonal lines that come from the base of our tree, because if the moon is shining on our tree, our shadow would be on the opposite side. So we're just going to add those connecting to the edge of our paper. So from the tree trunk all the way to the edge of your paper, those will be the shadows. Let's stop what we're drawing and go ahead and outline this part of our drawing, and then we can add our more details. So I'm going to go ahead and start outlining. You can pause the video and outline yours too. I'm also going to color in my trees just to make them the shadows. So you can add your snowman and your moon. Notice how I switched back to my pencil. I like to draw in pencil first in case I make a mistake. That way I can erase it. I'm going to make some evergreen trees in my background just to make it kind of look like my paper has a depth. It's kind of, when I draw these, I kind of just do a bumpy line, kind of like icing on a cake. I'm only going to add two of those, I think. And then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add a snowman over here. So I'm going to add a little bit of a snowman. Maybe we just built it. And then those details I can add with my pencil too. I'm going to add a stream of water too coming from the side. It's just going to curve around, and I'm going to use that rolling hill to connect it. Notice how it's skinny in the back and it veers out a little bit wider as it reaches the edge of my paper. This is creating depth and dimension, kind of like we did when we used our 1-point perspective. I'm going to take my black marker, and I'm just going to be adding some outlines to make my paper look a little bit more bold in some areas. You can do the same. If you want to add different details to your landscape, you can. If you want to add two snowmen, you can. If you have a sled, maybe someone's sledding down the hill, you can. But I think it's going to look nice whatever winter details you add. So go ahead and draw those and outline. Once you're satisfied with your drawing, you're going to use your color choice, so crayons, markers, paint, whatever you want to use. I'm using crayons today because I think that I can use heavy application in some areas and make it look like it's having more depth in my drawing. So as things are moved back into space, they're going to be darker, and as they move closer to the edge of my paper, I'm going to loosen up my grip on my crayon and draw color a little bit lighter. See how it gets darker as it moves back. This is going to be my stream. I'll be adding some other colors to this too. So all I'm doing is just coloring my paper and adding winter landscape. So the colors that you're going to want to use as you're coloring are cool colors to make your drawing have the mood of winter. So those colors are blues and greens and purples. You could even mix some grays in there. You are going to have to use a little bit of orange for the snowman's nose. So I'm going to go ahead and finish coloring mine. At the end, you're going to see me add some wind in the background, and I'm just doing this by coloring lightly and then pressing down harder with my crayons to add those swirls to make it look like the wind is blowing. Again, you can color this however you want, but make sure you're sticking to the cool colors and making it appear to be winter in your landscape. I hope that you had fun creating this winter landscape, adding lots of cool colors and depth by adding shadows, and I can't wait to see what you're drawing. So if you would please upload a photo or a video on Canvas showing me your winter landscape, I would appreciate it, and I can't wait to see your creations. Have fun!